All right, so this is the Historic Commission of June 1st, 2026. Not the Historic District Commission. And the meeting is being recorded. Let's see, so agenda, there's no minutes. At some point I need to go through and just verify where we're at. I think we've caught up with the current stuff, maybe not the most recent meeting, which isn't a big deal. There might be some older stuff that at some point we'll need to track down. I think we figured out if there's a recording, there's a way to replay the recording into a new Teams meeting and get the AI recap to do it. Because I tried it with an old planning board meeting and it worked. So that might be an option. There are no, just even though it's not a district, there are no new applications for the historic district. Oh, actually, shoot. There was an item that came up for the historic district. So the bank at Hastings Street, the Charles River, needs to move their signs as part of the Route 16 project. So I suppose technically that's work in the district. It's literally the exact same sign. They're picking up and moving it back. I'm thinking we don't need to.
Is it the illuminated sign?
It's just at all the signs.
Well, it's just that the illuminated sign is not conforming with the current sign ordinance in Mendon. So I feel like if they move it, it's no longer grandfathered in.
That's an interesting question for somebody should say something to them.
Because
they put in a building for it, so that's the opportunity for us.
Yeah,
Inspector to question that.
Well, I'll prompt.
Is it super bright or something?
Yes, it's very, if you read the zoning ordinance for signs, they can't be illuminated, they have to be off at 10, and the light has to shine, like if it is illuminated, it can only, it's like lights down here that can shine on the sign. And their sign was installed before those ordinances were put into place. And so if they do work and they have a permit for it, it should, in my view, conform to current regulations.
Which sign is lit up?
The one,
Driving?
Sorry.
if you go back and turn.
This.
That one is very, very bright. It's like, yeah, it shines in my windows. It's really tiresome.
Mass DOT project sign in the way, need to move back 15 feet. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, because I think they're taking some land, or I think it's in the right of way. I think
they actually shifted the whole. I'm happy about the changes. They're shifting the whole project towards the bank.
Oh.
And they're putting a sidewalk in. This is what the man told me.
Mm-hmm.
Before he told my daughter.
Sidewalk there, right?
Oh, my side.
Oh,
No,
on your side.
And that's
They're talking about putting a sidewalk.
I think we mentioned that when
Which
they
is
first
great.
came to us, and they said part of the problem is they can't take land from the park, but it's already fried from all the salt.
Yeah.
The sidewalk would give you a buffer, would be better.
They told me that I couldn't meet, I had an emergency at school, so they met my daughter, and then he sent me a synopsis, and she took notes and pictures. But they shifted everything, so it's supposed to be further away from my house. There's supposed to be a sidewalk now, so that those poor people who work at Quickie Mart and their little children can walk on the sidewalk instead of in the street, which is what they do now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of children, because there's like, it goes up to that Wheeldale restaurant. People walk that way and they're walking in the road and people are not caring, So I think it's wonderful if we get sidewalk, But
They're only required to have a sidewalk on one side, right?
No idea.
Maybe they
Probably.
take the sidewalk out of the bank side?
I don't know, I have not,
my understanding is just shifting over, so they have enough space now to do it.
but yeah, so I don't know, I guess we don't really have a quorum for the historic district, so I'm not sure what to tell these people. I mean, it's the same sign, it was done before the district, they're moving it 10 feet.
Oh. I mean, I'm gonna put.
I think I'll separately, you should reach out, I can send you
Query
how to
the
reach out.
inspector, like if
Because I do
they.
think that's a great question to ask. If
Well,
they're
my
putting a permit.
understanding is anytime you put in a permit and you're gonna update, move,
Yeah.
change, build, you now have to conform to the existing regulations. There's no grandfathering in You know, so that illuminated sign should have to conform to the current standards of signs.
How do you move that sign though? Isn't it anchored into the ground?
Probably just on our footing, I mean, that's.
I wonder if they're
I'm sure the
just gonna
state's
put
got
up a
it.
new sign that looks
Yeah.
just like it, but then also illuminate it, thinking that they can do that, but,
If it lives there, you're not gonna illuminate that sign.
Well, it's just like, you know, if you drive through other towns, they're turning their stuff down at 10, you know?
As they should.
And it makes it nicer as a community.
Very good.
So I guess that's
We
that.
already have street lights.
Historic commission, we have, I guess we could skip ahead. I do it so that I put Route 16 project updates on the agenda. The one minor update is I talked to John Dudley and he gave me the contact for our community engineer, partner, whatever person. So I'm gonna give the guy a call and find out, but now it sounds like you got some information on the marker.
Yeah, I can tell you who I spoke with. Well, I wonder if it's the same person.
Yeah, I don't think he gave me the name, he gave me a
I think it
number,
was Stephen.
because I think that was the question. The big question is making sure they're aware of that marker, that what, you know, what are they, where is it going, what's the plan to protect it?
Every time I talk to somebody that, like, that's news to them,
Yeah.
so I feel like it's documented somewhere,
You know, this was.
but it's not getting passed from
Mhm.
person to person.
Well, there's all different teams too, but there's supposedly like a project manager person. When they first met with Historic, they were very, you know, they were knowledgeable about it. I remember she was saying there was a whole like historic signs department.
Yeah, there is, but they're not telling the other people. It's like,
So I don't know.
the problem, it can be all great, except for if the information's not getting to right people, then.
Police chief around it or something.
I thought about just putting like some kind of buying something, just put up like storage sign, historic sign, because I'm just worried that, you know, you're gonna get the workers out there, they're not gonna know.
No,
It's not, you
it's gonna
can't
rip
hold
up.
them, you know, I'm sure they do the best they can, but they don't know.
Well, that's, I think it's worth finding out from this, you know, what, make sure it's on their radar, what we need to do. I think that was the question, and then where's, again, if civil war can stay, it's, that island's gonna get rebuilt, it's gonna move a little bit, but it will stay in that location. And then the location of the signs that are now been approved for restoration. And then how in the hell are we gonna get those signs down?
Here it is, his name is Stephen,
Oh, yes, this is some of that.
Stephen Chamoinen. Stephen E. Chamoinen, he came out, he said, that's about the vibration monitoring, protection of private well. Granite marker next to the utility pole. I've talked with the engineer and they confirmed that this granite stone can be saved. Which is not reassuring. And it can be saved and will not need to be relocated. What does the be saved mean? Like, do they not understand that it's?
I don't think so.
I wonder if, I know we talked about signage, just because that would be a real low budget impact item.
I'll just
Worth-
paint a sign.
One thing, if it's worth having a like 12 by 18 road sign that can go up next to it that just says, you know, historic
Boston
marker,
Post
blah, blah,
marker
blah.
number, like 43.
That'd be like $30.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's a little bit of weirdness with signs on Route 16, but if that sign were to find itself screwed into that telephone pole, maybe nobody would notice.
I'm actually just gonna forward you this email thing to see.
Yeah, like maybe we just, or that's one of the questions for them. I think that would be a good place to put it, because that's so weathered, you don't know what it is.
Well, you can
Or do a
see
sign.
it, it's certain time of day, you know?
Do a storyboard behind it that, you know, the problem is that signage has to be set back from the road.
Yeah, well, they need to be responsible for getting the right conservationist people to carefully, like, pick it up. I wish we could just move it further back into Farmers Park, like 10 feet, you know, because it's just,
Well, that might be a question to say to them, like, listen, is this something you
we just,
can do? Or do
there
we-
seems like a lot of information between your teams that's getting lost. Could we just agree, like, with our committee to say, we're gonna move it back 10 feet to protect it?
I'm thinking, forget about the project, look at, I mean, that tree got hit a year ago, that's a matter of time before somebody plows into that sign.
Yeah, there used to actually be 2 stones in that location. One of them's totally MIA, like the older stone. I know, I have a pic of that. But I wasn't there in the colonial times. I have a picture.
I was. No, just kidding. Yeah, I was reincarnated. So.
Yes, that's different than the person that,
Yeah, I
Jonathan
just,
made.
okay, here we go. I'm gonna send you the picture of the original
Connor.
stones too.
I was at the meeting, so Connor and I, we glad, so Connor was the gentleman that John gave me the phone number for. Let me, maybe I'll call this Connor guy this week and find out, and
I just sent you a picture of the original stone too, from the, it's recorded in the Library of Congress. But if you look at it carefully, there was another stone where it's a crappy picture. There's the poster inside. Okay. This little granite property marker is still there. One of these has text on it. I looked, yeah, so one of them is completely missing, like just gone. I keep digging in my yard.
so that's a really,
Yeah, this is in the Library of Congress, when they photographed all the stone markers. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hazel, are there other markers that were of the same time period that are still in existence?
There's just the big stone, which the text is way more visible on the big stone in this is from 1920. And then, or somewhere thereabouts, before the takings along the road.
Okay.
And then there's a granite sign, and then there's some kind of like little sandstone stone with markings on it too, but I just can't see it. I think I dug this one up in the yard. Yeah, I think I did.
well, so I just was on the
Yeah,
Dan Malloy side.
that's
So
Milford.
they did this in Milford, maybe we should,
I
this maybe is
think
a
that
lot,
we
but
should do that.
maybe
in
we should do
Milford.
something like this
Or
for
like-
ours.
Oh, there you go.
Why
It's
not?
too late now, but that could be a future Eagle Scout project for somebody else to design this and put it in the, you know.
Well, if they moved the stone.
Right, move the stone.
The
and
state
somebody-
moved the stone and then the Eagle guys could
Go
put
around.
the little rocks around it.
Yeah.
They could do some kind of doodah.
So
You know.
I would I would recommend that we go out and cite and mark where we believe it is going to be safest on the park. And then get MassDOT to agree to have it moved there. Because if we don't make the call and we don't supervise where it goes, it could wind up anywhere on that park.
Okay, they could just throw it over and be like, oh yeah, we'll put that back up with the skid steer later, you know, like, which is what they will do. I feel like I have to put my ring camera on the stone.
There you go.
My project.
Yeah, because there's that, and then this, in the island too, the road sign, we have to, where the final location of that, if
I
it's
mean-
just gonna go on the corner of Founder's Park.
I care about the road sign, but that's like what from,
No, that's not as historic
yeah,
as
this
this,
one says 17 whatever on
just
it.
to make sure we've done everything we can ask
36, I
them.
think. It's not replaceable in any way, you know.
So. But I think,
Yeah, I
it's
think
good
if we,
contact now,
like, there's the power pole and it's got the supports, the
yes.
cabling. Yeah. But what if we got it out of the way of the cabling, like?
Well, here, okay, so this is just a Google, I think, you know, just to back it up, you know, closer to, I mean, there's the tree that came down back here,
Yeah, even if it was just 10 feet back.
back in this, like where my cursor is, back here.
Yeah,
Just
and
away
we
from
could
the
put a
road.
little, like, Boy Scout fence around.
Yeah,
it.
that could be a future project someday.
And then we could, like, maybe someday commission a little sign that says, this is mile marker name, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
from 1770, blah, blah, blah.
I like that. I like exactly where you're pointing to, Dan.
Yeah, it looks great.
And maybe, I mean, maybe the fountain too need at some point could have, I mean, you don't have a park cover the signs, but
Well, they could
having
be
a little
small
more
bronze
explanation
plaques.
of what, you know, what the hell this thing is.
Yeah, I always like, whoa, what is that for? It's a barbecue pit. It looks like it.
No, my God.
Throw some weenies in there. Use it for the 250th. Yeah.
No, no.
So which is cauldron, you know? But I think if we redesign the park a little bit and we put stone that echoes the stone on the other side, that would help protect things from strike too, you know?
That's all I have on that, and then I put, like, I don't know if we have any new on the weights and measures. I did
But
measure it, I do think it will fit in this elevator.
Okay, good.
It'll be tight, but I think it will fit.
all right, who's free?
Yeah, let's do it in the middle of
That's,
July.
it's getting out of there, I mean, you could take everything out of it. It does look like you could disassemble part of the top scale without too much pain
Oh, really?
and just take some of that off and move it separately. It's just that huge cabinet.
So I will send you a link to the Plainfield moving of their historic weights and measures. They did it themselves. Of course, you know, I went down a rabbit hole because their website is awesome. Their historic society, but yeah, there's a little narrative on, you know, what they did and how they did it. And there's a woman on the listserv that said she would give us step-by-step instructions on how to move it. So I don't think it's a big deal. I think we can definitely get it, you know, from point A to point B, but it's got it. I love to do it this month. But
Yeah, it's still, I mean, who's gonna do it?
I think you hire movers and just supervise it, because otherwise it'll never happen.
You can't.
No movers want to do it. They don't want to touch it because it's too delicate or too big or.
You get into prevailing
Too
wage, you
sticky.
know, you deal with that crap. I was thinking the.
What about those Eagle Scouts?
well, I mean, they did clean up the park. It looks great. So who knows? Maybe they can move it.
I'd be hesitant to use untrained volunteers to do something like that. I think that's asking for problems.
So who would be trained that we could ask?
I mean, I think we just have to keep contacting moving companies.
Well, but did you try did you try what's the arts place what is the place?
Did we try Gallo in Milford?
I don't think so, Dan.
Yeah,
No,
a lot of them are just house movers, so they don't do. I don't know.
Piano
So many of these organizations said, yeah, just DIY, you can do it. And it's like, yeah, okay. So maybe we get as much over there as we can, and then if we get stuck, we get a mover to come by and.
I mean, I think you should try Crozier. I know they're south of Boston. They were not our bills from, I'm just gonna send you this invoice. Don't pay it.
It has to be, I don't know. Because all this stuff can come out. It is interesting. It looks like you can identify from the label what was the original stuff. And then there was looks like there's additional weights that were purchased or added in later.
We can get all the weights over here. We
I'm
can
assuming.
that cabinet.
I'm assuming nickel plated.
I think Crozier.
Ours is in better condition than Upton's, by the way. Theirs has a lot of tarnish on the weights.
Oh, I'll polish weight, so I don't wanna lift anything into the elevator.
I was in the town hall on Friday. I texted Kat, so we should find out. Theirs has a nice like plexiglass cover over and stuff, so we should find out who did that, or if they just, I mean.
Yeah, I like that they did the plexiglass on the bottom too, so they took all the doors off. So
Yeah,
it's
if I can share it.
bottom.
Hang on. Restore. Open image in new tab.
So I also found in the museum, I found ledgers that were used with the weights and measures. And also.
See, ours is nice and shiny.
Oh yeah, in great shape.
So actually, so I see the base is different with our unauthorized modifications.
So they took the doors off, and so now you
Yeah.
can see what's going on.
But ours has more shelving underneath. And if you read that little postcard, it talks about they got some nasty gram from the state that they performed unauthorized alterations on it.
So,
Into the quote,
Yeah.
try them out. I don't think that it will be beyond.
we have the
budget.
money, so
Yeah.
that's the thing.
They didn't charge us that much to do this big woo-woo Harvard thing, and so it's just one cabinet,
But-
you know?
So sorry, what did you find, Kathy?
So-
Ledger?
so I found ledgers that were used, that recorded what was done with the weights and measures. And then there's also a stamp or some kind of tag that they used to affix that says condemned. So, I mean, I think it would be really cool to display those as well. But how do we do that? We need a display table, so people can
Okay.
actually see those artifacts.
Well, I think that was part of the money we requested, was to also purchase, if we need to buy a display case or, like a table with a cover or something.
I'll tell you another secret, a Harvard secret, that kind of stuff. We have a recycling center.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, it's open, the stuff is free. So we get rid of stuff like that all the time.
What?
Nothing wrong with it, we just don't use it. Like, we'll get new display cases, get rid of the old ones. We'll get smaller ones, we'll get bigger ones. Or they'll take a museum exhibit down and put a new one up. So they just send it to the recycling center. Like, I can
So we
ask.
should go dumpster diving, is what you're
Well,
saying.
no, it's like a legit thing. I mean,
Yeah,
you
no,
pull up, it's a whole center, you can get all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something we could,
I'm gonna just ask the recycling guy, like, we're looking for a museum case or a display case. If you get any, will you call me? And, they're free. So even if we had to paint it or, I mean, free is a great price.
It is.
Yeah. You could like get a volunteer to pick it up in Cambridge, which would be the worst of it.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that we steer away, if possible, from contemporary looking furniture.
It should be old looking,
It should be vintage, because we've got that big long bench up there. I've got some other stuff that's going to hang up there, hopefully, and so we're trying to keep that vibe going of what it used to feel like up there.
Yeah.
And that's usually the stuff they get rid of because they don't want that. They want contemporary looking things that go in museums.
Right. Oh, definitely. Put our name in.
I'll put a name in.
I do think in terms of longer term projects, at some point, we need to think about some work up there, like all that plaster needs to probably get fixed we're gonna go up there one day and all that plaster's gonna be on the floor.
Where's the?
It's very slowly settling on the perimeters.
Crazy.
I
No,
don't know if
doing
that can
mine.
be attached or.
No, it could be, I'm doing mine in the house. You can it's not that bad to reattach it.
That's ours.
You just screw something through it or?
No. So is it the ceiling or the
I
walls?
can show you the ceiling.
Okay.
So huge.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, but you have to get rid of the
Cardboard
loose
stuff.
Yeah.
stuff that's absolutely.
There's nothing loose, it's just the whole piece is separated, so it's like bow.
Okay, yeah, you put like anchor pins up in it and then
Yeah.
it will crack and then you have this cloth, like this fiberglass cloth, super thin.
Yeah.
That lays on top of it like with wallpaper base basically, and then you put a new skim coat of plaster on top. Very cool.
So we should, that may be.
I'm in the middle of doing my.
We have, again, there's some money, but I think this building, needs some investment in terms of.
I've got a couple, I have people, historic plaster people that we
Yeah.
use.
It saves, that maybe is in conjunction with the windows that is never gonna happen, but should.
Yeah.
But I think eventually it's gonna become more urgent. Next I have is the record room. I have not been in the last week or so to see if he actually put anything down. So we bought a dehumidifier. He ripped out the rest of the flooring. I think Kathy, you talked to him about the pattern to make some.
No, I did not. I think we were just talking about following the original pattern. Oh, yeah, integrating, yep.
Yeah, and so that's now,
Integrating.
he's gonna do it, and that's where we're at. Cause I think I got a bill for he purchased the flooring, I think we got the bill for that.
Okay, I have not seen it arrive yet. I was there 2 days ago, checking out the vine growing on the back of the building, which is just Virginia creeper. I mean, I'm gonna have to go down there and clean that out, but he has to get the floors acclimated to the temperature in the building, so that's gonna take about a week and a half. So once it arrives, they can start, letting it get acclimated, and then they'll do the install, so.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that should be in decent shape, and then we still, I mean, there's more to be done, but at least get the inside so it's habitable without feeling like you're gonna fall through the floor. That would be nice. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Mark Bucchino said he was gonna start pursuing, what he would like to do in that building with the town. So, I mean, we can certainly support him, but logistically, he's gonna have to figure out, Kathy said he did an extensive, presentation, so hopefully he can, move that through.
Yeah, I talked to his wife actually like a week or two ago, and somebody came up, but I mean, it'd be nice, I would hate to see it just filled full of stuff and then not seen, so if it's something that gets the space used.
Right, and I think if you,
Being
I'll
realistic.
But what is the contract, like, what's his intention as far as like, okay, well, when he passes or whatever, like, who's responsible?
Well, I think that's all
stuff?
part of the
Yeah.
conversation, like what is, is he setting up something, is this stuff in his possession, in the town's possession, like,
Who insures
I don't know.
it? Yeah.
I don't know who, ultimately, if that's really the select board who has the deciding authority over that space, or if they delegate that to this board, I really don't know. It sounds like the town is doing ADA audits, they have to get a grant through CMRPC, so vendor came in. They did look at that space and Only Cook and the museum, which are obviously not compliant. But the record room is really not that out of whack. It's, you need the ramp for the entrance. The doorway is actually wide enough. The light switches are all pretty much at the right height. Obviously you need a bathroom, but it sounds like if that was a limited use space, it would be appropriate to say the bathroom is go down the sidewalk to town hall and that's the bathroom for everyone. Or we have an accessible porta potty out in the front and that's the bathroom for this event. That's okay. It's just making sure you have some form of, accessible accommodations.
Right.
So we don't necessarily need to spend $1 million on water and sewer and all that just to turn it into a showroom exhibit space as opposed to having it become fully occupied. And we'll have a formal report from them, but I think
You guys give me a couple minutes because I'm really slow at this. I will forward Mark's vision, and I actually thought it was really awesome. Oh, I just saw it. Wait.
I think it would be a huge uphill battle to convince the town to fund phase 2 of a well and a tight tank and all that without a really clear plan for the use. I do think that would be a big hurdle, but if that wasn't required for a smaller use.
You're gonna put a well in, the money would be better spent putting it closer to the historic, the building with the parks. You could irrigate anything that you.
Well, that's something that would be of interest as well.
Dan, I just sent it over to you. It's in your inbox, should be.
Oh, I see. This is just AI, but I can put this up. Hang on.
Yeah, it's an AI image that he created.
Come on, just open the file. Stupid garbage. Hang on. Popping up with things.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Emails.
Look at that.
Oh, not exact tall though.
Are you not impressed? Yes.
It's a nice AI
It
generator.
is.
With no water for any of them plants.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another mulch bed to weed and
Well, I wouldn't necessarily do all the.
Yeah, no landscaping, please.
I think if you had a small, stuff that could go in here,
I just put a sign.
So
what are that? Can you click on the other pictures down, the smaller?
No, it's just, they're just insets.
Oh. Okay.
So, this is probably more than would fit in that space.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that's not realistic space wise.
You know, I wish we had this level of stuff for like highway. It kills me that like nobody saved an old water meter. You know, I should have kept a piece of water meter when we fixed the break.
I don't know, I mean,
asbestos in my office.
I'm not sure who the audience for this is, to be honest.
I think mostly school kids. School kids.
Yeah.
Have you met school kids recently?
Even if it becomes
think
a
they
space
changed
that
that.
stuff can rotate through,
If it was a changing exhibit,
you know.
I think that would be cool. Different stuff every year,
Mm-hmm.
but but if it's just a storage space for his collection, that just doesn't make sense to me. I gotta be honest, I mean.
Well,
I
we have,
know kids that would be like, yay, we're gonna go look at the old police stuff again.
Oh, well,
Once, maybe,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, I was more thinking field trips, school-sponsored trips.
I mean, you'd be in and out of there with them kids in like 15 minutes.
I think they've taken them to
Well, it could be part of their
that
tour
place
that-
before, haven't they?
It could be part of their tour that they do with us.
Yeah, the
No.
Like go around, like
third grade
half hour
tour.
in every space or something.
Yeah.
well, let's think about it in these terms. The building can stay empty, or it will be filled up with town crap.
Yeah.
Or we could make functional space and, you know, Mark could teach first aid to the Cub Scouts, you know, they could have meetings in there. So it can be used publicly, you know, if we just, and Mark is super responsible. He lives right next door. He is so passionate about this. I think it's a win-win, you know, and then I think that the building that we need to focus on is the one that Dan occupies right now, which he's going to be very upset with me. That the potential for water and sewer up at Founders Park, I think is far greater than it is ever going to be at the records room until there's town water and sewer.
The only problem with the museum building is the access is gonna be basically some sort of walkway all the way around the park to get to it. From street
Right.
level 16,
Yeah,
which is fine, it's just a lot
but
more.
it's really that's not a bad idea to like make it part of the park's design to create an access path.
I mean, that space too, I think we should find a use for it, because it is just, you know, it's a.
No, I think
Yeah,
about that all
that's
the
awesome.
time, because my daughter studied to be a conservator. I was like, maybe we could rent it for the town and put your conservation studio in.
Well, that was
Yeah.
either of those buildings, I think, but they
Yeah.
need utilities. Or
Yeah, they need water, well, you need water for the park too.
Yeah,
If you're gonna have any kind of plants, you've got to have some water, you know, for them. There's plenty of water, I can tell you that, my well is always. flowing.
Yeah, I'm not clear if CPA could pay for a well and Founders Park to facilitate open space. I really don't know if that's an allowable use.
You could add lavatories to that building though, you know. And then at center time, you know, you have lavatories, which is kind of, well, I guess you're always gonna have that.
Then it has to be a public water supply, and the cost out would
It has to be public. rather
it
than
serves
a-
60 or more people for 25 or more days, or the other way around, 25 more people for, I forget the threshold.
What if it only is for the employees of the center, or the center, like you're doing the center.
I'm not saying don't do it, I just.
But like you're doing the center thing, and you have municipal employees that are participating in setup, cleanup and event, it could serve them. And then the wider public does the portlets, you know, kind of nice, because you could change into your Santa suit in the lavatory.
Nice.
I don't know, your elf suit.
I don't know, oh, it does say funding for an irrigation well, so maybe irrigation for open space. I'll research this further, because that's probably the best path to get a well there just for irrigation, and then
Because if
future.
your blue tree dies, then you're gonna you're gonna change the park design to make it, the building more of a focus, then, you can't just slap plants in and be like, hope they make it, you know.
Actually, what I do.
I mean, you can, but drip irrigation would be so nice for any like trees and shrubberies, and even if they're super simple, it's still thirsty.
So Hazel, did you ever go down and look at the tulip tree on the corner of Lovell and Millville Road?
I could not find it. I could not find it. And is it in someone's yard?
Huge. Yeah, it's in Wayne Wagner's yard.
Okay, that's why I was thinking it was in a lot or something. I just didn't want to walk in anyone's yard.
Oh,
So,
yeah, no, it's,
I'll drive real slow and maybe I hopefully won't
it is
mount the
spectacular,
shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay.
absolutely spectacular. But in fact, it was blooming, I think, last week. It was, I
They're
just wanted to
so
stop
pretty.
and grab a
Same,
picture.
same time as like horse chestnut.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a tree I think would be good to replace the blue spruce when it dies.
When?
Like a big tulip tree or native type tree.
Mhm.
Don't take any baby in or spraying.
It's got to be, what, 40 feet tall? I mean, it is stunning. It really is. I think it's,
Flowers on them. You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. I'll take a picture and share with everybody.
Okay. Like if you tell him if you see somebody creepy driving by his house real slow, they're just looking at the tree.
I will. I'll let the Wagners know.
I think an irrigation well might actually be an allowable use of CPA for open space, and here's a project in Agawam, irrigation at a Memorial Green.
Then if like the Cub Scouts put things around the stone, they can water it, they can put a drip irrigation ring and keep them alive.
Well, I think you'd put irrigation up there if you were gonna do that, and go through the whole process.
That
Look
would
at,
be nice.
updating that space, but another thing to add to the list of projects we don't really have time for.
Got quite the to-do list with Boy Scouts.
Well, they're gonna keep coming forever. That's the thing.
Well,
They regenerate.
God bless them. So let's be sure to celebrate them at their 100th anniversary in October. So
There'll always be 12, you know? So,
Forever 12.
oh no, it's perfect.
Oh, I did get, so yeah, they did the mulching.
Yeah, they did a lovely job.
And then the last, I put only cook on the agenda, I don't have any real updates right now. I'm wondering,
I'd like to go out and see.
Yeah,
I know everybody's
sometimes-
super busy.
sometime, now I think it might need to wait a little bit, but sometime when you're around,
Peak
it'd
season.
be good to have you take a look at it. It might be worth us just painting it ourselves in the fall. It probably wouldn't, I was looking at it again the other day. I mean, if nobody's gonna take the job, I don't know what else we can do.
So no one wanted to paint it.
I contacted 2 people, one of whom basically stopped responding, and then the other one never responded at all.
Like just
Kathy, you did get a price, but it was like
I
$1 million.
did get a price from the people who did the Daniels Farmstead. But I also have a gentleman that's local, and he is he's still interested in going down. He's already seen it, but
Okay.
we haven't gone down there to like walk through around the property. So we'll do that. Yeah, and I just got the number for the guy, the pest control guy. It just came in yesterday, so I will reach out and have him give us an honest opinion about what to do with that building to get rid of the
Yeah.
ponderosa.
I don't know painting in terms of cost, we'll have to see. Once we have a number, we can go talk to Jeremy. If it's something that would fall within the town's facilities budget, I don't know. Or it has to wait for a round of funding. But at least do something.
how is I'm sorry.
Good.
How is the space currently used?
It's just storage, and it's kind of a collection of what was there and related artifacts related to the like artisan shop that's in there. There's some like workbench tools, that kind of stuff.
Is there like blah, blah, blah building days or anything where like the public is interpreted? Maybe it'd be easier to get funding if there's some interpretive day or something.
If you saw, Upton just did something, because I just saw it this morning on Facebook, some blacksmith shop, and somebody like did it, and they had, yeah, so that would be what should happen here. I think
You
that's
need to put like inviting all basket makers for
Yeah.
a weekend of fun. I don't. You're like, it's, you know,
Oh,
it's
Hazel.
just sitting there with junk in it. People don't want to take care of it.
The ADA guy was very concerned about that giant hook hanging from the ceiling in the basement. Wanted to know what the heck
I
happened.
know. Please, I mean, come on, hooks were around all the time.
But it was an interesting conversation of like, what do you like? Because you don't necessarily want to remove that if it's a piece of the history.
No,
you
it's
have
a table.
you have to,
hoist.
like,
Hoist.
find a way to like make it safe but still display
Wrap
it.
it in bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
So you essentially like block the base off, which, you know, it's like interesting consideration of how you manage that.
We'll build a plexiglass box around
Yeah,
it.
right.
And then put like
No, even
neon
that's
edging with we'll put a safety vest on
it can't be something that somebody could go underneath.
Oh.
So Dan, did he look at the metal cone in the corner of the first room? That's
No.
hanging up in the corner?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you know what that's used for? That was for cutting heads off chickens. It's absolutely disgusting.
Oh,
You stick
Up down in the middle cone and chop its head off. It was
where did I
just,
see that? Did I see, did you?
Well, people still,
I
that's how
know.
you still do it. Like on the
Yeah.
farm and
I just
so
feel like
you
I
guys
saw that.
let me know when you're available and you want to take a run down there. I mean, should we pick a day and you can go?
like it's Sundays or like.
Yeah, you probably have
Monday.
better availability than me, so I would say if you got, I don't need to be there, so I think we could definitely get Hazel to look at it.
Yeah, but Sunday works for me. If you guys are around on Sunday and you want to just take a quick peek.
Yeah,
On Sunday.
yeah. And we had somebody did post beetle treatment on one of our buildings in Cambridge too. I gotta look up who did it. They tented the building and gassed it and.
Well, that's what we were.
It sounds terrible, but it really wasn't that bad. We did have to cut power. I mean, but the post beetles had got quite bad, so it had to be done, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking is, well, Dan, yeah, pretty much confirmed that's what's happening down there.
They're
So,
saying it's, I mean, get another opinion, see what they think too, but, I don't know.
But even after you gas it, you still have to have a treatment protocol, because then they just come right back, you know, like they go further out into the soil and then they come back
Yeah.
towards it, like you almost have to put the termite doodles around it.
Well, I think that's treatments, that he said at this point that he didn't recommend it, but I think once it's addressed, they would, yeah.
To have like a maintenance plan of some sort.
right. And at least we know what, that it needs to get done this time every year and, we can just stay on top of it. But I think what you'll see when you go in there is that, some of the boards are compromised, some of the floorboards, which is why if that barn comes down at the Paddock property, we should salvage anything we can from there. Because I do believe the floor needs more support upstairs. So, anything we can hang on to, which would probably also have to be treated, just saying.
We have to write a letter or something for that paddock thing.
Yeah. And did we all agree to that, correct?
I think the takeaway was that I forget the exact wording. The barn, we're leaving it in their hands, but really, if they determine it can't be saved, the intention is to salvage what can be done, and whatever gets put in its place needs to be a replica of what was there in that style that fits everything.
Yep. All right. Dan, if we finish in 5 minutes, it will be a marathon meeting. 1 hour. Cut it out.
Okay, the only other
Anything
thing.
else on the agenda? Quick.
No, I have one other item. So I got an email from John Erickson this afternoon, and I think I talked to this woman like 6 months ago. 69 Providence Street. It's an 1850s house with an old barn. Apparently they want to take the barn down is the short answer. And they were bugging John about permits and whatever, and John's like, you haven't applied for anything. So he asked me what's going on. I said, I talked to that woman. I think she was asking about like funding opportunities or grants or anything. or what could be done to try and save it, so that would, I don't know, so there may be a demolition permit incoming.
Dan, is it the house with the barn,
This one, Karen?
next to the place where they're stacking loam and building more landscape?
Yeah, it's near there, hang on, let me pull up your map, it's wicked slow to load, but it actually, when I drove by, the house looks like it's been completely like redone and sided and all that.
Yeah.
The barn actually looked older than it looked on your map in person, it looks like it's still wood,
Yeah, it does.
but I don't know what condition, of course, it's in horrible condition, it's gonna come down tomorrow and. the
They always say that, yeah.
Even though it's been there for hundreds of years, tomorrow is the day of collapse. So that's not a fun.
Oh, this might be it, actually. Let's from the end open. Share. I believe this is the property. So it's, yeah, because this is Lanzetta in the back, I think.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
Yeah. So it's this property right here. It's a house, and then it's this barn in the
What
back.
is the round thing? A pool.
A
Oh.
You see it in the street.
I think I see it.
Was that with a meteor
from the
hit?
street picture? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm guessing, I think I know which barn it is, but it's definitely old. There's no question. Might even be older than the paddock one.
Yeah.
Yes,
You might ask if we can go over for a site visit and just photograph and evaluate.
yeah, I mean, nothing's been applied for. I think sounds like the contractor maybe is telling this person one thing.
Oh, yeah, you gotta, we will rebuild a new barn for you.
John, I will say, John Erickson he's been very quick to say you need to talk to historic and kick things our way. He's been very good with this stuff.
That's great. That's great.
I reread the bylaw, so if it's truly a hazard, he's supposed to go do an inspection and send us a letter, and there's a whole process, so. I don't think that's necessarily the case here, but I would think we could be seeing a demolition delay application at the next meeting at the end of July.
We'll get some research done on it. I'm sure Patrice has got something on file.
Let me look it up. It's, I did it before, I forgot it. We better make sure we back up this website somewhere.
Oh, I know. The work that woman has put into it, unbelievable.
Darling, Olive Darling, circa 1850, Gaskill, Cook, Darling, those are the names.
Fletcher,
Sullivan is the current owner.
Malvini.
Philomene, I recognize that name.
Malvini I recognize, and obviously Cook and Fletcher.
Yeah, so the original Darling, Cook,
Tract one, Hannah Cook. Elizabeth C. Fletcher, daughter of, yep, okay, that's why.
Cooks, I wonder if they're the same cooks from my place.
There might be something on the, I would be surprised.
anyway, so that's that.
Right,
That'll be probably coming down the road at some point.
okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, if we can intervene early as opposed to earlier rather than later, and we can go over and take a look and take photographs. I mean, unfortunately, we're just losing barn after barn, either by neglect or, mostly.
Yeah, and I think she wanted to find a way to save it. Her concern was that it maybe wasn't financially viable for them and
Yeah,
what they need to do, I don't know. And I don't know what condition it's truly in.
yeah. All right,
I guess that's it, unless you want to set another date.
it's 8:00. Oh, no, it's 8:01. No, just kidding. July,
I mean, yeah, I think unless something comes up, I would prefer not to meet that last week in June. I'm gonna be really busy
okay, all right, you pick a day, you pick the date.
if we wanted to.
Like mid to end of July for me, because we get busy right around the last couple of weeks. This was Don't want turnover.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I am looking for anyone who might be interested in participating at the Amadon Tavern for the August 2nd signing of the declaration.
What are they doing?
We are doing, there's a presentation that we're gonna do in the garage, and I believe we're gonna attempt to do foot traffic in the kitchen area and the dining area, but we're actually looking for, we've got a couple of volunteers already that are just nuts. History nuts, love it, love it.
My daughter's a history major, she'll do it.
Oh
I'm
my
sure.
God.
If she can dress up, cause that's like, she
Well, you
only
have to
wants to
dress
do
up.
stuff if she can dress up.
All right, you have to dress up.
She's
Everyone
got George
dress.
Washington wig and breeches and.
She should sign up for that thing if she hasn't.
Oh,
The
is
sign,
it?
the mock signing of the declaration, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Yeah, she loves stuff where she can dress up.
Excellent. Well, the next signing meeting, maybe we could do an aside meeting about the
Do a
tavern.
costumed meeting.
Everybody has to have a costume. You have to behave like you're in the 1700s, and you're gonna have to talk about the revolution.
Have to take
in
snuff.
London. All right. All right, cool. So let me know if you're interested. And Sunday, what time do you guys want to try to run over to Only Cook Sunday?
Sometime I can sleep in a little bit, so like maybe 10:30, 11.
Sure.
Yeah, like right before lunch perhaps.
Deb and Karen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there.
10:30,
Maybe.
10:30?
Or you
Alright.
want there?
Just fine. 10:30 is great, actually, yeah.
All right, 10:30.
Good people are still in church, so they're not on the road.
That's right. So what did we say, 10:30?
10:30.
Are we going Only Cook? Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we'll go look at that tulip tree. Maybe go look at, do a drive-by for each tree. Ooh, oh. Okay.
Any of the little side trips you want to take, we could do this.
We should probably go see that barn while we're headed that way.
Yeah, we're gonna go harass those
Yeah.
people.
I
Like
would not go on
Knock
that
on the door.
contact with her.
first contact.
I talked a while ago, but I don't know the situation.
Who's gonna contact us?
Well, honestly, I'm hesitant to reach out. I would let them apply for a permit.
But you guys haven't been in the paddock barn, right?
Oh, paddock barn, yeah, that's different. That's one worth looking at.
Okay,
I would stay off this property until they come to us with a request.
We can go to that one too.
yeah, this,
We can.
That property.
yeah.
Dan, is it open?
The barn is open, off the recording, I'll tell you, I mean, it's just nothing.
What the code
The
is?
house is locked. I can give you the code if you need to get in the house. The house is locked. But I think, was that for the meeting? Can we adjourn?
Yeah.
Yep. So I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
I.
And 4.